everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well today. Today's video I'm really excited to do because I've been wanting to do this type of video for a few years now, and this video is basically just a get ready with me, but it's going to be a festive get ready with me. It's going to be using some of my favorite products, and this is certainly a makeup look that I would wear to a holiday party or a family gathering. It's something that I would probably wear on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, probably more so Christmas Eve. But yeah, I want to use some of my favorite products today, or products that I know will work really, really well for me. I'm looking for longevity, I'm looking for full glam, and of course a little bit of sparkle because it is the holiday season after all. But let's go ahead and get into it. I'm really excited. Looking at the makeup products I have here in front of me, I think that they all will go really well together. For primer, I do want something that's going to just kind of like replenish the skin a little bit. I feel like my skin is feeling a little bit drier and could use a little bit of a pick-me-up. So this is the NYX Plump Right Back Primer. And this one is kind of like a gripping primer, but it's going to feel a little bit more hydrating in my opinion. This one is more of a hydrating kind of moisturizing primer than a gripping primer in my opinion. And then this is definitely optional, but I certainly love doing this. This is the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray, and I use this actually as a primer spray. I feel like it really helps with just locking in the primer and again, just kind of like further refreshing my skin. So that's what I'm going to do today. Okay, so for foundation, I definitely wanted to go in with one that I really trust, one that's probably more full coverage and something that's going to, of course, wear very well. And I chose the Physicians Formula. This is the Butter Believe It foundation. I know, I feel like I haven't used this one in a minute. I feel like I used it a lot in 2021. I wore this to my master's graduation and it wore beautifully. And so I do still wear this one occasionally. It's probably not as much of a favorite as it used to be, but that's okay. I still really, really enjoy the way that it wears, and so let's use this one today. I do wear the shade Fair to Light. From my understanding, in store, they do not have all of the shades. So check out Physicians Formula's website. I'm hoping that on their website, they will have a little bit more of an extensive shade range. It cut me off, so hopefully I remember where I was. But basically, I was talking about why I like this foundation, and I feel like I like this one because it's very good coverage, but it doesn't feel heavy on the skin. I feel like it covers up everything that I need, but it doesn't feel cakey. It can if you put on too much, but if you just kind of work with this one in layers, it's very nice. Okay, so now let's go in with concealer because I desperately need it, especially after putting on foundation and I'm very tired today. Let's go ahead and go in with one that I see Juicy Jazz use all the time, and she's always raving about it. And I was like, you know what? I have that concealer. Let's give it a go. I've obviously tried it, but it's been a little while. So I'm curious to kind of retry it and hear and see my thoughts. But this is the House Labs. I believe this is like the Triclone concealer, and this is the shade 11 Light Neutral. So let's test this one out, or retry it, I should say. I definitely need the coverage, and so I'm looking for something that's going to give me that, but not dry out the under eyes. Okay, so I feel like that did a really good job underneath the eyes. I always do this, I don't mention it in my videos, but I do take off the concealer that I put on my eyelids because I do go in with eyeshadow primer and I don't want it to affect the wear of my eyeshadow. And so I basically just take off the concealer that I blended up there. and I feel like it doesn't affect my eyeshadow in any way. But yeah, I mean, I think that it looks pretty good. It's definitely a concealer that's on the thicker side, but I am pleasantly, like, I'm impressed with the way that it looks. I do feel like it concealed quite a bit. I'm honestly tempted to go in with more, but I'm going to stop there. Now, I do love to, especially for special occasions or whenever I want my makeup to wear really well, I do like to layer both cream and powder products. So for cream bronzer, I feel like I do talk about this one quite a lot on my channel, and I don't even know if I've ever featured it. So let's do that today. This is the NYX No Limits Cream Bronzer. I do have the shade Motivate, and this one is nice because you can just draw it onto the skin. You do not need a lot of this product. This is very, very nice and creamy. And I'm going to blend it out with my Real Techniques. This is the R50, which is absolutely amazing for cream bronzer and contour. And yeah, I'm sorry for my Halloween mirror. Halloween is forever in my heart, but I also don't have a Christmas mirror, and I do have a Shop Miss A one. I guess I could have switched to that one, but I love the little Sam Goblin here. He's so cute. This is from the Glam Light and Trick or Treat collection. So I apologize that that's Halloween themed, but gosh, every time I use this, I just remember how beautiful this product is. It's so, so stunning. Wow, it's so good. And I really love working in layers. I feel like that just works best for me. I feel like I'm able to kind of get the level of pigmentation that I want, and I'm able to work with the product a little bit more haphazardly because I'm not concerned about like the other side drying or anything like that. Because I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to my makeup. I love things to be blended perfectly, and I feel like not having to rush to get to the other side allows me to really take my time on blending. And so I do like to work in layers. However, because this product is so nice and creamy, I don't foresee it drying too quickly. All right, so I think that looks so freaking amazing. I love this cream bronzer so much. I cannot recommend it enough. Hopefully, if you had your eye on it, hopefully you're able to pick it up maybe for a discount for Black Friday maybe. Now let's go into a liquid blush. I love, of course, cream and liquid blushes, and it was so much fun. My sister and I, we actually went half on the Home Alone advent calendar, and the advent calendar, I want to say full price was like $100, but then it went on sale pre-Black Friday, and so we halved it. It came down to like $66. Anyways, we split the products in the advent calendar because I, of course, didn't need to accumulate 24 new makeup products into my collection. One of the products that came in the box, though, and I'm so excited to have this formula back into my collection again, is the NYX Sweet Cheeks Soft Cheek Tint Blush Mousse. So this is a liquid blush, and the shade is Bombshell. I'm thinking this is going to look like a really nice, just kind of like spicy, kind of a nude color. And I'm going to basically just dot this onto the cheeks, and let's see how this looks. It honestly might have been too much, but if I blend it out and maybe even go in with my sponge, no, I mean, this looks great. I don't think this is too much, because keep in mind, I powder my skin, okay? I powder my whole face, and so I like to kind of go ham with my liquid products and my cream products, because whenever you powder, it kind of takes away a little bit of that pigment. This formula is beautiful. It literally blended in like a powder. It's crazy. I almost don't even need to set my cheeks because of that. Okay, same thing on the other side. I absolutely love that my sister loves makeup almost as much as me, because I'm able to do things like that with her. I was kind of wanting the Home Alone NYX advent calendar, but I wasn't willing to kind of buy it on my own and like, again, keep all of those products. So I feel like she seriously read my mind whenever she asked me, hey, like, do you want to go half? I feel like this side has a little bit more product, or is it just me? I guess it is just me. A powder that I love so much that's going to help with the makeup longevity and just to make your skin look flawless, literally, is the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. I was lucky enough to find this at TJ Maxx for $17, I think. And this is literally the full size, which is such a great deal. Beautiful. I just feel like this powder really does just kind of like airbrush the skin. It's amazing. Okay, and then for the under eye, I normally just set with the powder I was using all over my face, but I'm feeling, like I said, a little bit tired today, and I've been trying to get better in the habit of using my pink powders and all of that. So let's use the e.l.f. Halo Glow. This is the shade Pink, and let's use this today to set my under eye. Okay, so I went ahead and set the entire face, and now I really do feel like I need to go back in with some of the color to just kind of liven up the skin. I did want to play around with today. I decided to pick up the Evil Eye Hourglass Face Palette. I purchased the dragon one and I've been loving it so much. And last year I did the same thing where I picked up the jellyfish one, or I think maybe the leopard one first. Loved it so much I wanted to purchase the other one. So this is the Evil Eye palette. It's very, very beautiful. I absolutely love the blush shades in here. So let's just top off the bronzer just a little bit, and we will use the bronzer that's in here. I don't know if I need like a ton of additional bronzer, but I love just to kind of top it all off. So for those of you, I have to talk about this because this has definitely been something in my personal life that I've been loving, my husband and I. If you live in San Antonio, I'm sure most of you by now know that I live in San Antonio. Anyways, I'm not from San Antonio, but I've been here for 10 years, so I definitely feel like I've been here long enough. But anyways, I am such a big fan of the San Antonio Spurs. That is obviously the men's basketball team here, part of the NBA. And please let me know if you are from San Antonio and if you are a Spurs fan, or if you're just a Spurs fan in general. I am so excited for this season's Spurs. Like, I'm pumped. I've been ready for this, you guys. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say that I've always been into basketball. In high school, I really loved baseball. And then I was a big supporter of the Texas Rangers. And then I got to college and I just wasn't really interested. Of course, you're busy, right? I wasn't keeping up with anything. And then my husband, when I met him, he was really into football. Now he's not into football very much. I freaking hate football with a passion. You couldn't pay me money to watch a football game. I just don't like football at all. I was in marching band and so in high school, and so I was forced to go to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of football games, and so I'm sick of them. And I grew up with my parents watching football, and that was all that was on TV during the fall seasons, and so I'm just over it. I refuse to watch football. Anyways, besides the point, he also was into basketball, and he's been a fan of the Spurs for a while, but he's also a fan of just the game, right? He loves to support, some of his favorite players, regardless or not if they're on the Spurs. He loves, of course, Greg Popovich, which is the head coach for the Spurs. Anyways, he's kind of, for the longest time, been trying to get me to watch the Spurs and like get into it. And because I live here, of course, I'm kind of like a natural supporter, right, of them. But I'm not like, I've never really been like devout. I'm just kind of like, oh, I hope they win, you know, for the sake of the city. And like, I hope that they do well, right? Things like that. But never like religiously following them or anything. Well, this season, so basically last year we got Victor Wembanyama, who actually won Rookie of the Year. He has definitely made me super into Spurs basketball now. But this year, especially, they have just done so well so far, and I'm so excited. Like, I can't even explain how excited I am. I know that that sounds so silly, but I have been addicted to watching all of the games and just being super involved. It's so funny because I was never like this. But yeah, let me know if you're a Spurs fan. I'm sure some of you that follow me or are subscribed to me are from San Antonio as well. Let me know, are you a Spurs fan? Are you loving the Spurs team currently? Because I certainly am. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about it. I love Castle, Barnes. Of course, I love Paul. My husband is a huge Chris Paul fan, and I am becoming a Chris Paul fan because I love the way that his brain thinks. I love the strategy that he uses. Anyways, now let's get into highlights. And the highlighter I really want to use is Discontinued. However, I feel like a lot of you probably have it. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Omrizi highlighter. This is my go-to highlight for special occasions. Like, this is the one that I use for that. However, I know that this is discontinued, so I did want to show other options. So LA Girl, they did come out with a holiday collection, and this is the Shimmer and Sparkle highlighter. And it looks very beautiful. I've actually never used it on the face. I've only used this in the inner corner, like on the eyes, and it's very beautiful that way. And then I did finally get my hands on the Frosty the Snowman Super Shock highlighters. And these are also very beautiful. So this one is in the shade Icicle Spree, which I've used already, and it's absolutely stunning. It's so beautiful. This is more of like a pinky toned, and then the other shade, which is Winter Wonder, is definitely more of an icy tone. But for Christmas Eve, right, I'm thinking Christmas Eve, holiday parties, I feel like I love a more golden highlight. And so I think I am going to use the Omrizi. I'm really sorry if you don't have it, but I feel like some of you do. I really do, because this was such a popular highlight that I feel like some of you probably have this. This is a highlight that never gets old, in my opinion. Like, it is so beautiful, and the formula, it's like this, what they call like a baked gelée formula. It's so beautiful. I'm such a, like, I think about it and I'm like, wow, I just love makeup so much. It's definitely a happy place for me. And then sometimes what I like to do with the excess I have on my brush, I just like to kind of like bring it up right above like my brow area. And it's so beautiful. By the way, the blush that I went in with the Hourglass palette was this one right here. And I think it looks really pretty. I think I could even, dare I say, add more. Alrighty, so now let's go ahead and go off camera for a little bit, and I'm going to do my brows and eyeshadow primer, and then we will come back to create a beautiful festive eye look. All right, so I am back, and for eyeshadow primer, I did use my MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. For the brows, I did go in with my ABH Brow Wiz, and I do wear the shade Medium Brown. I've been loving this one. And then I did go in with a little bit of brow gel because, again, I want my makeup to last all day, and I decided to go in with the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. Now, let's go in with an eyeshadow palette. I have a few options here. Firstly, shout out to my sister because she did get me the Home Alone Battle Plan palette from NYX. Super cute. Home Alone was a movie and is a movie that I watch every single season, every single Christmas season. And I remember growing up, I would visit my grandparents' house and we would stay there. My sisters and I would stay there during the summers. And I was absolutely obsessed with these movies. And even though it wasn't even Christmas, I remember watching these on VHS in one of the guest rooms and just sitting there and watching it and just constantly watching. Of course, Lost in New York was probably the one I would watch the most, but I actually prefer the first Home Alone. Anyways, this is beautiful. I knew that I wanted it because of the Home Alone theme, but seeing this in person, I'm actually like, wow, this is so pretty. So this is probably the one that I'm gonna go with. However, I do want to show you two other options. Another one, this is the LA Girl Holiday Collection. I just shared with you the highlighter. Here is the eyeshadow palette. This is the Radiate 9-color eyeshadow palette, and this one looks beautiful. This is more of a neutral palette. I love the shades that they included in here, and this is also a contender. I think the shade Champagne is just so beautiful. So I haven't even used this one yet, so I feel like that one is also kind of an option. But then I was also looking at this palette, and this is the ColourPop and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer palette, which they brought back last year. So hopefully you were able to get your hands on this one. This one is so pretty, and you can definitely create a really nice festive holiday look with this one too. So this one is discontinued though, sadly. So again, I feel like if I use this one, it may not be well received. Maybe, I don't know. But I think I am going to hold off on it. I think I'm going to go in with the Battle Plan palette from NYX, because this one, I believe you can still get on the NYX website. I don't think it's available on Ulta anymore, but I think you can get it on the NYX website. And I think I want to focus, like this shade right here is just calling my name. It's so sparkly. So I think what I want to do is just a really nice, beautiful, neutral look with some glitter or like beautiful shimmer and sparkle on the lids. And then of course I'm gonna go in with a red lip. So let's do that. Let me find my blending brushes and let's go ahead, and I think what I'm gonna do is mix these two shades and put that into my crease. Now let's go ahead and deepen up the crease, and I think I'm going to put this shade in the outer corner. So let's do that. I just sneezed every single time. Okay, and I'm going to use this rougher brush that I love so much. Okay, so I do like the foundation of the crease that I created. Now let's go in with my NYX glitter primer. You already guessed it, and we're going to put this on my lids so that we can go in with some of these beautiful shimmer shades. All right, so for the eye look, or eyelid, I should say, I really want to go in with this shade because it is so sparkly and beautiful. However, I'm not so sure. I feel like it's not going to be giving me enough like depth on the lids, like not depth because I don't want darkness on the lids. It's just, I feel like maybe that shade's going to be a little bit too transparent for me. So I'm thinking, so these are two shimmer shades in the palette that look really, really beautiful. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, hopefully this turns out the way I want it to. I think I'm going to go in with this shade right here, and then this shade more like towards the inner corner. Hopefully this works out the way that I want it to. Wow, that shade is so pretty. Okay, NYX. Wow, I feel like that really sparkly white shade can almost be like a topper. That's so pretty. Wow. Okay, so here is the look. I think that looks really, really pretty. I'm glad that I went in with those two shades that I had planned. Okay, that's going to be it, I think, for the eyes, or eyeshadow, I should say. I kind of want, just to kind of amp this look up a little bit, I kind of do want to put on a little bit of liquid liner. I know this is not me at all, but I kind of want to. Let's see. This is the Essence Super Precise eyeliner, and this is just kind of like an inkwell liquid liner. And I do want to just do a very small line just right above my lashes. Okay, so just a small line. Okay, and so I think that that turned out really nicely. I just wanted to add some definition. My friend Anna, she puts on eyeliner all the time, and I feel like it just looks really pretty on her, so I wanted to kind of do that as well. Now I have a really, really fun mascara. And this is the Covergirl, this is the Lash Blast Cleantopia mascara, but this is the frost version. So Covergirl came out with the like frost version of like the ultramarine black, of the what is it? Like the black brown. I went ahead and got the shade Extreme Black, and I don't know if you'll be able to tell. I doubt it, but there's like a little bit of sparkle on the wand. And I'm really curious to see if this is just a gimmick or if this is actually going to show up. I mean, what a perfect time to launch a frosted mascara. Okay, so very sad, but I'm not seeing any frostedness from this. I'm like, I don't see it. Like anything that I see that's sparkly, I feel like is just from the eyeshadow. So I'm not entirely sure. I don't know what Covergirl was trying to say about this, but I'm not seeing any frost at all. I'm taking off my like lip mask that I had on, and I'm trying to decide, do I want to put anything on the lower lash line? I mean, I guess I could. I do need to put something in the inner corner, that's for sure. And actually, let's use the LA Girl highlighter and put that in the inner corner. I thought it was really, really pretty in the inner corner. Okay, I think that looks really, really pretty in the inner corner. And I think I'm gonna skip lower lash line. I feel like it doesn't need it. I think with the lip that I'm gonna go in with, it's gonna be a little bit too much. Of course, you have to go in with a red lip, right? And I pulled out a few options of different red lips that you could wear. So for instance, the Frosty the Snowman collection from ColourPop, they did come out kind of with a red. It's more of like a mauve toned kind of red. It's really beautiful though, and it is certainly an option. However, the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer lipstick from the collection, the ColourPop collection, is definitely more of like a classic red. And this one is in the shade Rudolph, and then the Frosty the Snowman one is in the shade Silly Snowman. I do have two other lipsticks though that I recommend that are really good, red lipsticks. And this one is the Give Beauty. I just have a mini. This is the Original Me Original Recipe, and it is just a matte red lipstick. It's so good. It's very, very long wearing on the lips. And then the other one is this one from Pat McGrath. I just have minis in these, and this one is Elson 3, and this is a red matte lipstick as well. So I think I might go in with one of these two because these I believe are still available. Let's go in with the Pat McGrath one. And I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips with the Frosty the Snowman ColourPop lip pencil. And this is in the shade Magic Hat. Okay, so I didn't fill them in completely, but I did enough just to kind of serve more as a guide for me. And then let's go ahead and go in with the Pat McGrath lipstick. Okay, so my lip lines are a little bit messy, so I apologize, but this is the most beautiful red. Honestly, it's so stunning. And because these are new and I really want to see how this is going to look on top of the red, these are the new e.l.f. Glow Reviver lip oils in the Glimmer Finish, and this is in the shade Crystal Baller. I do want to top this red lip with this lip glimmer from e.l.f. And let's see what happens to this red lip. It's beautiful, wow. Don't forget to clean your applicator because look at how red that just became. I always use baby wipes whenever I'm getting ready because it's just mess free, it's cheaper than makeup wipes, and you can easily just use the baby wipe to clean the doe foot. Because it's a red, it's not going to come off completely, but it did take off most of it, and at least it won't impact the color too much now. But that is so beautiful. Wow. Okay, so here is the finished look. I would feel so confident wearing this to a holiday party or for Christmas Eve. This is honestly probably a look that I would create for Christmas Eve. I would obviously have to be pretty mindful about the red lip, but here is the completed look. I love the eye look. I think that that's really beautiful. This Home Alone palette from NYX is honestly really, really good. I'm super impressed with it. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below your favorite products to wear during the holiday season, or what types of looks you like to create for Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. I would love to hear from you. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my YouTube channel family here. Thank you so much for watching, and now I'll go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye.